Today we're tackling a difficult topic, breaking a generational cycle of poverty. Specifically, I mean getting out of Section 8 housing when all you've known, or most of what you've known, is Section 8 housing with your parents. I'm talking to young adults who are trying to make a better life for themselves, who are trying to get out of poverty and not have blowback from their family, not put their family in a terrible position at the same time. Let me talk about Section 8 housing. First of all, it is a great program for people who need it. It's a housing voucher program that the federal government puts on and enables states to provide housing assistance to those who are below 50, sometimes 30% of the median income for that area. So median income, that means it's not an average. It's kind of like your most popular income in the middle range, right? So you have some really high income earners, you have some really low income earners. Median is your most popular, if you're looking at a bell or a graph, your most popular middle ground income. So 50% of that would be pretty close to poverty level, if not right at poverty level. 30% of that is definitely below, usually. So, and considered below poverty level for that place, that geographic location. So Section 8 housing in of itself is a great program. It helps a lot of people. The problem is those people have children and their children grow up. Now, there are a lot of rules around Section 8 housing, right? You have to report your income and you pay 30% of your income toward your housing. The federal government pays the rest. They keep track of how many people are in your household, so how many rooms you need, what you qualify for. They do some nifty little calculation to determine what you get for your Section 8 housing, what allowances you're given, how big of a place you can get, how much money you get for that Section 8 housing, that voucher, which is really in demand. There's a long wait list for it. There are very few spots. So if you are at or below 50% of the income for your area, Section 8 housing is a huge blessing. It really helps people. If you are 20, in your early 20s, and you just got a degree, you're trying to get out of poverty, and you find yourself home trying to get a job, it doesn't sound like a blessing anymore, because that job increases the income in that household. And remember, you're paying 30%. You have to be at that 30 to 50% of median income to qualify for Section 8. So if you're living at home and you get a job, you've just put your family's Section 8 voucher at risk. So what do you do? Well, most people would just say, well, move out, right? Move out, take your job, move out. But then that also causes a shift, that causes a change for your family. It causes them to lose a household member, which recalculates their Section 8 housing. They might have to move, and it puts their voucher at risk. So what do you do? How do you break this cycle? How do you make financial progress for yourself, for your family, without putting them in jeopardy? And this is a hard topic. This is so hard because you have family influences saying, don't take that job, you're going to change our lives. And you have society influences saying, succeed, just leave them, it's okay. But you're a family person. You love your parents. You want them to be in a place that they love, to be taken care of, to not lose their Section 8 voucher. It's hard to find a good answer for this, especially at that time, because you're worried, you're overwhelmed. A lot of people in this situation don't know what the right course of action is. You don't know how to navigate this, have the right conversations with your family. It's really hard. I also want to say you have to make sure to avoid fraud when it comes to Section 8. Make sure you're telling the truth, your parents are telling the truth in all of their reporting, their annual review. If you're in this situation and you are trying to break the cycle of poverty, or just maybe it's not a cycle, maybe it was just one generation. If you're trying to break free from the poverty or the income limits of your family, you really have one option. It's to sit down with your parents, help them prepare for your exit the moment you get a job. Now, that sounds heartless, right? That sounds terrible. And it's difficult because you love your parents. You love what they've done for you. And you're trying to help yourself and them eventually, right? Probably almost everyone I've talked to has been trying to help their parents because they've given so much for your success. Understand that they want your success usually. They want you to succeed. The best way forward is for them to rewrite how many people are in their household. They're likely going to have to move, so they should prepare for that. And the moment you get a job, income, you go rent a room somewhere else. It's a difficult step. It is a step in the right direction, and it's just that one step. It's the hardest one. I remember when I moved out of my parents' house, and they were not in Section 8 housing. I sat down and I bawled my eyes out the moment I had to really move. It was coming up. It felt like it was fast. Everything was happening at once. And I didn't want to leave. I wanted to be there with my siblings, with my parents. I wanted to be in a place that was comfortable for me. But I knew that I had to leave. I had to spread my wings. I had to have my own life in order to make their lives better. Take that step. Get a job, increase your income, take that first step toward the life that you know you should have, the job, the career you know you should have, or at least you think you should have, right? Who in their early 20s knows that they should have a type of career? Very few people. So take that first step toward a better life and help prepare your parents for their eventual move. Find a room. Make arrangements. Somebody has a room they're not using, I promise. If you go to church, ask around in your church who has a room they're not using that they could rent out to you, and make that first step. That doesn't mean you're abandoning your parents. That doesn't mean that you're causing an undue hardship. They should have been expecting this. They should have been planning for this. It means that you are learning to carry your own backpack. You're learning to carry yourself through life, and eventually you'll be able to help them into a better life. It's your first step. It's your first step toward a new life, toward a new beginning, out of that cycle of poverty. And that's really your option. Now, if you're watching this and this is where you are right now, please sit down, talk it over with your parents, and think long term. They probably don't want you to be in Section 8 housing for the rest of your life. If you have an opportunity for a better life, for a higher paying job, to increase your income, to be able to save for your future, you should take it, and they should want you to. Yes, it's going to change their life and be a little hard in the interim. It's hard to move, but it's great for you and your future for the long term. Do it. It may feel a little disloyal or unfair. In the interim, it really might. The rules in Section 8 housing are there so that the people who really need it keep it. But there's hardly a system of graduation. It's hard to graduate without a clean swipe stop. Okay? So we're working within the rules of a system that aren't really designed to help this situation. It's hard, right? They're not designed to, it's funny. It's not that funny. They're not designed, they didn't take into account that kids get older and they earn their own income and then move out. They just didn't think about that possibility. So you're in that position now, and it's kind of your only option. Find a room that you can afford, rent that room out, and have a relationship with your new landlord, your new the person who owns the house or whatnot. And the moment you get the job, you move out. You have to clean break it, and then your parents have to report that change in household. Okay, that's your option. It feels terrible. It feels unfair. It feels disloyal. It feels like you're leaving them in the lurch, but you're not. You've sat down and prepared your parents. They know what's coming. They've been through this before. They've found housing using a Section 8 voucher. And yes, it puts it a little bit in jeopardy, but chances are they're going to keep it. Most of the time, once you get a voucher and you're following the rules of the program, you can keep it and move and find another place with it. Okay? All right. I hope this helped. Reach out if you need someone to walk you through it. Reach out if you need just a little bit more help. It's worth it. It's worth it for your future. Think 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line. If you're 20 years old right now, it's really hard to think 20 years down the line. But I promise you it'll come. And you don't want to be in that 30% median income for the rest of your life. You want to graduate. So many more doors open up to you once you start making 100% of the median income. Around here, that's around $50,000. Okay. So once you start making 100% of the median income, once you start making a lot more money, you can then be a bigger blessing to the people around you. Section 8 housing helped you. You can help so many more people if you just take that first step, focus, and keep going. You love your family. Don't worry, they won't forget it. Keep loving them. Help them move forward as you help yourself move forward too. Oh, subscribe, share, subscribe. I don't know what the other one is. I don't remember. But just, share and subscribe and comment, like. I would love to help more people. Let me know what you think. All right, I'm Catherine Vanderlaan from Saver Street. Talk to you soon.